Good evening, Council President and Council members. My name for the record is Carrie Richter. I'm an attorney at the law firm Garvey Schubert Bearer. Office address 121 Southwest Morrison Street, Suite 1100, Portland, Oregon 97204. I'm here today representing Save Helvetia, and I've passed out a letter and I've directed your attention to a map that I will be speaking about, and many of our Save Helvetia members will also be speaking to. This is the core form map that you have behind you with some additional labeling on it. Save Helvetia remains concerned about the area designated 8B urban. This area does not have to be designated urban reserves in order to serve the proposed ODOT intersection. First of all, I want to note that nothing in the urban and rural lands factors says that urban scaled roads must be located in areas designated for urban reserves. To the contrary, urban scale roads can be located in exclusive farm use zones under state law. So this area 8B can remain rural reserves and still accommodate the intersection that the city of Hillsborough believes is necessary. Second, nothing in the urban and rural lands factors talks about the desires of the landowners. In this case, Mr. Standring should be considered when applying the factors. Third, designating this area urban will crack the door, allowing the initial drip of urbanization to seep through Helvetia. This is especially true given the indication that the area identified on the map is larger than needed to accommodate the intersection, meaning that urban uses, additional urban uses beyond the intersection will be the result. Second, Save Helvetia is concerned about the large number of acres that remain undesignated north of Highway 26. These are those little fingers that stick up here above North Plains and above Banks. The map behind you identifies this area as 8F. You'll see we have designated these areas, sub-designated these areas, South Helvetia, West Helvetia. We have an X area because it is unknown, North Plains area, and a Banks area. All of this area is designated foundation agricultural lands and within 3 miles of an existing urban growth boundary. As such, OAR 660-027-00604 says these lands, without more, should be designated rural reserve. The letter attached in the testimony you will hear tonight explains the reasons why each of these undesignated areas satisfies the rural reserve factors. What's most important about these areas is that we're not clear why the boundaries are where they are. And we would like to suggest to you that when we are considering areas that could be urbanized in the future by undesignation, that we need to be very deliberate about these boundaries. For a boundary to exist, it must provide a rational dividing line based on the factors. And we would suggest to you, and the testimony in our letter and additional testimony submitted tonight will show that there isn't a rational boundary. Thank you for your consideration of these comments.
Thank you. I have actually not a question for you, but maybe just a note for our staff that you can answer tomorrow. It's not necessary tonight, but with regard to this 8B and the question of the interchange, I know the state had sent us a letter at some point in October, and if somebody could pull that for us and just remind us what ODOT said about, I think that's an interesting question that you phrased. Thanks.
We've mentioned it in our testimony. My letter discusses it.
I'd like to just refresh my memory from the fall too.